Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on New Ultimates issue number 1 comic review. Now, as you know, New Ultimates is meant to take place after the events of Ultimatum, as we do see characters trying to rebuild their lives, and after the events of the series, the Ultimates have lost most of their heavy hitters. And the story mainly starts off with New York being repaired, with Tony flying, and him saying, "Things seem pretty quiet. Join me for a drink?" And which Hawkeye points out that his son would have been 8 today, and keep in mind during the events of Ultimates 2, Ultimate Hawkeye's family was slain and murdered by assassins and terrorists. So they pretty much get into a heated argument, saying that unlike Tony, he doesn't drown himself in booze. And he says, "You've got any idea how screwed up this team is right now? I have a pretty good idea." And Tony does point out that, he did pull a lot of strings to get them back with S.H.I.E.L.D. and did say that losing millions of dollars because the world turned upside down, and that he lost everything at his house and that. But suddenly they hear a voice, and it turns out it's the Defenders. Now, keep in mind, during the events of Ultimates 2, Hank Pym did join them when they were non-powers, and they were pretending to be superheroes. And yeah, Ultimate Hank did join them in a few of the issues. And he's like, "The Defenders? You're those losers Pym was hanging out with. Losers. Got me some sweet steel skin now. Bulletproof and everything." And so they pretty much show their new powers out, and pretty much they still lack any real skills, until pretty much Ultimate Cap says, "Get off my roof." And so Sada takes on Luke Cage, and Captain America takes on Ultimate Black Knight, and pretty much Ultimate Hawkeye takes on Hellcat, and yeah, this does get into a heated battle, and even Ultimate Son of Satan says, "Oh, come on, Barbara, you can't be that surprised." "Dylan, be careful what you wish for. Gotta wrap this up now." And so she throws Thor's hammer, and they pretty much take it with them and leave. So they pretty much have to know what's going on, and pretty much she points out that, yeah, they took Thor's hammer, and that there'd be no way to get him back. And pretty much you have Ultimate Thor in a kind of Valhalla, and him have slain everything. So keep in mind that during the events of Ultimatum, he did save Valkyrie to stay here. So pretty much Ultimate Horror offers for basically him to leave for a child and son and heir. So we are shown that, yeah, that pretty much has even recruited the other two heroes from the Savage Lands. And what's interesting is that Ultimate Carol Danvers does point out they've had an inside man, which was the Son of Satan. So this does imply the reason they had him as an inside man could have been due to keeping a close eye on Hank, and possibly to try and make sure to see if these other wannabe heroes were worthy. But they point out that he went off the grid, and that for some reason they have powers in that. So you can tell that Tony wants the files and finds out what exactly they are. So they pretty much get into a heated argument, with Kat pointing out, saying, "Something has to be done about those two." "How so? They hate each other." That's not what I see." And so pretty much Sala offers to, be with Cap. And what's interesting, in Central City Park, you do see T'Challa as well as Shana and that walking in the park until they feel something breezily cold, which you now have Ultimate Loki and Amora the Enchantress showing up with their army, and them saying, "My brother goes out of town. Can't I drop by with a few friends?" And so the story ends with Ultimate, Tony, and Carol Danvers pretty much in bed together with the classified data. And yeah, this is the story. So, what do I think? I think New Elements does bring up an interesting story, and we do see some of the characters rebuilding their lives, or some still affected by the Ultimatum. So I think the issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.